Of how much faith you are walking in. Faith is not something that you get one time and you never refill upon. Faith can be lost just that quick. It can be depleted. Not that you don't believe in Jesus Christ, but you're not trusting God. The worry, the anxiety, the challenges, they're getting the best of you because your faith is not willing to trust God in those areas. So you get experience now, and I get experience in an amazing story that deals with the realm of prayer. We're going to subtitle this, what he talks about, that we ought to pray. We should pray. The need to pray. You know, when I was a little boy, a teenager, in high school, I did not wake up to go to school to an alarm clock. I did not wake up to someone shaking my body to tell me to wake up. I did not wake up to a barking dog or an ambulance going by. I woke up to a praying mama down the hall who was behind the door of her room praying. And I'll never forget, that's how loud it was. I mean, how many of you know kids sleep soundly? So the prayer has to be very, very loud to wake you up. I almost sometimes thought somebody was in that room with her. Because it would go from this extreme emotion of crying, and I can hear her crying and weeping, to this emotion of shouting and screaming, to the emotion of aggression, like she was fighting against someone. And that is what I woke up to. I woke up to a praying mom. And now here's what I know. Many of you would not be here today if you did not have a praying mom or a praying grandmother. Many of you today are here today for the first time on your Mother's Day, where your mom may not be around. But I want you to know her prayers are still being heard by God. They're seated in the ground. And so you want to know, many of you already know that don't go to church or just visiting today. You know what your mom was praying for you about. You know what your mom was believing God for you about. And I believe with all my heart that God will honor if you heal. God will honor to those prayer requests. And you're going to be where your mom wanted you to pray to be one day. So here's the reality that I want you to look at. When we talk about the subject of prayer, for many people, if they be honest, it's very uncomfortable for them to pray. Sometimes very hard, it's sometimes very tiring, it's very uncomfortable, it's very unfamiliar, it's very tough. Even though they know they need to pray more, there seems to be this blockade that stops us from praying. You know what? We think we're looking at the clock, and that clock just seems to slow down when we pray. You know, we get distracted. You know, all of a sudden we're looking at our phone, we're looking at our email, the kids are crying, we get easily distracted. We say, tomorrow morning for sure, I'm going to get up and I'm going to pray. And then something happens, and then we feel really guilty, and we say, why should I even pray? Because I always fail. Or, I prayed about something, and it was never answered, so what's the use of praying? Or, how long should I pray? Or, what should I pray? I don't even know what to pray for. And all these things can kind of overwhelm us sometimes. For sure, when I was a little boy, I want you young people to recognize my generation did not have all kinds of jeans or companies or brands to choose from. Usually I had one pair of jeans that were Levi 501 jeans. And once you put them on, it took about 6 months to break them in. Because they would go over your crotch, they'd bleed through your crotch. I'm serious, they were tough, they were stiff, they were rigid. But once you broke them in, they were just stuck to your body. I mean, they were so pliable now. And that's the way it is with prayer. When you start off, it's just so rough and it's so tough. But you've got to break it in. You've got to stay with it and break it in and keep doing it. And then it's just one with you and it flows with you and you'll see the rewards. And you'll see the benefits. I like to look at prayer like this with this quote that says this. Not the quote. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's pass that. My quote. In prayer, God is not looking for perfection or performance. He's just looking for the practice of you being with Him and having a conversation. Take all that ritualistic, ceremonialist, King James conversation out of you, that over-spiritualizes everything, that makes you think that you have to perform or be perfect in everything you say, and recognize it is just simply you talking to God and being with God and having a conversation. Sometimes it helps, and this may help you.